Yeah, against this right back, Charlie, definitely.
There's always just that active red line defending. I think it's like.
People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. And for those of you in the UK, you know, good morning to those of you. Some of you is probably morning time anyway. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. In some cases, good night. Whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you're all doing well and safe. Of course, we're live. Tommy, I'm not creeping anymore, man. I'm starting. The camera's started, my brother. They're starting. Apologies for being late. You know, I've got a shower. I've got to be clean. You know, I can't be here with my nasty self online for you lot. You know, I can't lie. I was going to leave it. I thought, you know what? One live stream for today. We got the watch along and we'll do what we need to do. Let me lie. But I came for you guys, man. You know, rain, sunshine, snow, Monday to Sunday. You know, DG is good for it. You know, I'm always going to be here. You know, I'll pay my late fines. I must be on a record, man. How many, you know, someone needs to start statistic. I think I must have been late to every stream in a row, man. Beaming, man, timing and things. Obviously, I haven't done a watch along. I mean, we're going to do a watch along. I haven't done a preview for Arsenal Chelsea, so we'll cover Arsenal Chelsea. You know, the Athletic did an article regarding why Arsenal went for Ramsdale. You know, Ben White, allegedly, a lot of things are filtering online that he might not be available today. And obviously, whatever you lot have got to say, we'll cover it in it as we build up for Arsenal versus Chelsea. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're checking out the pin message, people, because as I said, it's Arsenal versus Chelsea live for today. Obviously, I'll be doing a watch along live from 4 p.m. So obviously, it's pinned in the pinned message in the chat. If not, open up another page, set your reminders, set your like buttons, and make sure you don't miss out, people. Obviously, it is what it is in relation to Ben White. We might as well start there, really and truly. Ben White out for Chelsea. In fact, just before we start that, where's my manners, man? You know, it's Sunday, it's early in the morning. I appreciate the support you guys give me. Make sure you're still here and whatnot, people. I can't lie. In true DG fashion, not everything has been done. That fan has to become a little higher, man, because I got that heat, bruh. It's a calm Sunday. So I'm gonna have some ackee and saltfish. I was gonna do saltfish fritters, but I have some ackee and saltfish in a sec after this live stream. I'm prepared for, you know, what could be a good game or a terrible game, Arsenal versus Chelsea. But let me know your opinions in relation to that game as well. But let me take in what you lot are saying. To be fair, Tommy, those dislikes were there before it, man. I think someone's got some bots on my video, to be honest, just to hit dislikes anytime I post something. It is what it is. The game's the game, innit? So let's just make sure we're crushing them on that front. Hit the like button if you haven't done such. DG, good morning, 5 a.m. here in Toronto. I appreciate you, Sam. I appreciate the fact that you're up and you're supporting the thing. One love to everyone in Canada and Toronto and neighboring regions and all of that, man. 5 a.m. So like I said, you know, it's probably morning time where some of you are concerned as well. Obviously, you, man, are only 5 hours behind us. So it is morning time, man. You know, go get some sleep, man. This content will be here when you're back, my guy, man. So, yeah, what are you saying? Positive for today's game? Anton, my positive will be you always have a chance in it. Now, whether I believe Arsenal can win, whether we believe Arsenal can win, these things are different, but you always have a chance. End of the day, 22 players, you know, you always have a chance. If you apply yourself, if you prepare, you always have a chance. You know, football's a funny old game. There's not a single reason to expect Arsenal to win, and we probably won't. But how many times have we seen upsets? As long as we apply ourselves, as long as everybody takes accountability, wins their individual battles, you can go as far as you want. You know, Chelsea are actually living proof of that. Clearly, there's a golfing class between the two sides, but they weren't favourites to win the Champions League at any stage. They applied themselves, and now they're European champions, and they've etched themselves in history. So, again, things can happen. You know, me personally, I think Chelsea will have too much for us. I don't think we will, before we talk about Chelsea, I don't think our players will turn up for today, and the self-implodingness doesn't help. Obviously, where our fans are concerned, I know there's protest talk and all of these sort of things. Hit the like button, 128 of you locked in, 100's the target. There's talk of protests and things, but it's the first home game, you know. for me, I expect to see an element of fearlessness, or I want to see an element of fearlessness, because at some point, obviously, the headlines if we lose, the headlines if we lose in typical fashion, what is said regardless. To me, that should give you that should liberate you as a footballer, because what's the worst they could say? Arsenal ain't got heart, you ain't got desire, do all of these things that they've been saying, things they probably said about you lot with Brentford, things they'll probably say today, things they'll probably say against City. In life, you should be fearful of someone that's got nothing to lose. And I want to see that, I want to see us play with clarity, a bit, an air of fearlessness. If you apply yourself and the mentality is right, anything can happen. But, that's my positive, Anton, but the flip side of that is, if I've been saying bare ifs and buts, and all of these things. If I was taller, if I was faster, if I was stronger, if I was born in another generation, I might be a professional footballer. You the same. But that's not how the cookie crumbles. We can only deal with the facts. So there are, not so much directly specific to Arsenal, but there's a lot of, there are some positives, and you're playing in front of the fans for your first game, innit? Don't embarrass yourselves, is what I would say. You've been embarrassing fans. Any positives for the match today? I think that could be the first timestamp. One love, man. Chelsea should win with almost insulting ease. Matilda, I believe the same, but then again, complacency is a killer. And you listen to Kai Havertz's comments, he's been saying none of that in it. We're not really with that. You've got to stay positive, Ben. Tommy said keen for the game, not sure about positive. To be honest, I am not interested in the result, just want to see a competitive game. I'm interested in the result, but I feel you. For me, it's, I don't want to lose. No one wants to lose, but it's the manner in what you lose. If you lose and, you sit there and say, core, this is why they spent X amount on Lukaku. This is why they've got Havertz. This is why Thomas Tuchel's in the job. Pardon me. This is why they've won Champions League. What could you say? European champions, we finished 8th. What could you say? If they are the better team, what can you say? All we can do is learn from it. But what I don't want to happen is, before we praise Chelsea, like with Brentford or whoever, we're talking about the self-imploding mistakes. There's several things that we, I don't want to make myself angry, but you don't know the mistakes we make and how, and our approach to games, and the mentality and whatnot. Certain players are just look nervous. Certain players look like they're still in the changing room. Certain players look like they're still at London Coley. So again, it's all, like you said, competitiveness. I personally feel when we play these big games, we look for positives where there's none. Like we lost 3-0 to Liverpool. Now, I'm vexed about losing 3-0, but it's like we had a defeative mindset. We've handed them 3 goals, but we're sitting there and we're like, at least it ain't 6. I couldn't believe it. I do think as a fan base, we find positives where there's none, and we find negatives where there's none. Ultimately, I always say it, there's a lack of balance within the fan base because, well, through Arsenal's mistakes, and obviously people live in extremes, man. As I said, make sure you smash the like button. What else are we saying? So yeah, man. Waiting a whole week for this one. I'm sure you was quality, man. One love to you anyways, man. 3 at the back is a must. DG will lead 100%, 100%. Obviously, with Ben White potentially missing, that throws a spanner in the work. So we might as well just preview the Arsenal-Chelsea game right now, if I'm completely honest with you. And for me, there's nothing to preview. Like, I'm going to do a timestamp, but there's nothing to preview. We're too early in the season to really know anything about any other side beyond what we know. I mean, you're waffling. Just say Ben White might be out. Durkee, I don't know what you're talking about. We have said that, but you've got to ask yourself why at 10:17 British time that you're sitting there listening to someone waffle, much less someone called Deluded. Come on now, get your priorities in check, man. I'm sure mummy needs help around the house. I know mummy's starting the Sunday dinner. She got the rice and peas. Go pick up a Uber and go Uber up some things, man. You're moving mad. Go and help the mummy, man. Instead, you're not even helping her. You're wasting her electric. But anyways, getting back on with this, as I was saying with Arsenal, Chelsea. It is what we know, innit? It is what we know. Our task isn't made easier. Several players are missing out. Allegedly, Ben White is suffering with COVID again. I say allegedly because they're the reports online. Certain people go as far as to say he stepped off the squad. He traveled and then didn't travel. Certain people are saying he ain't trained all week, but I think there's pictures with him. Either way, it wouldn't surprise me if we're dealing with more COVID cases in our team, which obviously, you saw Williams one pop up. You saw Runnisson's one pop up. Obviously, the club didn't say anything in relation to Lacazette and Aubameyang. So first things first, we're hoping that anybody, much less the footballers, suffering with anything related to corona or any illness, we're wishing them a speedy recovery and whatnot. I will say this as well. We already know whether it's COVID, whether it's injuries, regardless, yes, our task, even if we could name our strongest team, we'd still struggle. But injuries, illnesses, people missing, part and parcel. We have a squad. You know, obviously, certain men are not good enough in this squad. Certain men are not first teamers. But for me, a squad, everyone should be relied upon. Everyone should be standing up to be counted. There's a good few amount of players missing. This is opportunities to state claims for first team spots. This is the chance to show the gaffer that you can say something. This is the chance for you as a football club to repay the fans, you know, because they're paying a lot of money to go to that stadium, you know. And you already know what could happen, and you already know what the context regarding that is, and the struggles to sell tickets. So the fans that have made their way, you know, that have some optimism, repay them. It's the first game at home. You lost your game against Brentford. Just play with some self-respect. Like, respect yourselves, you know. At least come the end of the 90 minutes, let me look at that game and say, all right, cool, I can see what you kind of worked on for all week in at London Coley, because you know Tuchel's not going to be on a joke. Any complacency them Chelsea players have, it's out of them. You know the Germans don't play that sort of stuff. And especially Crystal Palace, with respect to Palace, did not test Chelsea at all. So Chelsea are going to want to unleash. And obviously you got people like Lukaku. If he doesn't start, you've got Werner and whoever. There's pressure for spaces. You know, obviously Chelsea might not even be done in the transfer market. They're trying to challenge for a league title and things. It's important to put a run of form together. You see Liverpool got 2 wins now. You know, City clawed back from a defeat against Spurs and got on the board. United are playing later, you know. You've got to build a run. For us, our season, boy, I want to say our season starts now, but you've got, you know, you had Brentford, you got now with Chelsea, you know, obviously you've got City. The game ain't getting any easier. There's no time to feel sorry for ourselves as a fan base or as players. You know, if you feel sorry for yourself in life, like there is, you know, your family could have died, you know, you could have lost your job, your girl could have cheated on you, you could have lost every penny you've ever had. Bad things happen in life and you should feel sorry for yourself. But the beautiful thing and the saddest thing about life, as you lot know, it keeps spinning. You can feel sorry for yourself. The world keeps going, innit? So this is what Arsenal need to have in mind. Yes, bare injuries. You know, Ben White might be missing with COVID. Aubameyang might be fit, but he's not going to be in tip-top condition. You're not having Lacazette. Gabriel's allegedly trained. As to whether he's ready, I don't know. So, you know, Partey isn't playing. We've been dealt a shorthand, you know. On the best of days, as I said, we have half of these players. We still get battered against Chelsea. But these are things that happen. You know, life is about suffering and suffering and suffering. At the end, you see that it was all worth it. If you know, I don't know what we thought. We knew we was coming into a tough game of fixtures. We knew injuries are a problem. We know nobody's got time to waste. Brentford, City, Chelsea ain't got time to waste. Stand up to be counted. The time for lip service is gone. We know what we're getting with Chelsea. We've played them a lot of times. Everyone is comfortable on the ball, tactically, individually, and collectively. Spot on from Thomas Tuchel. You know, high line, high that counter attack. If you give them space on the transition, like we saw in pre-season, they will exploit you. You know, they get all up in your box. Their centre halves want the ball and they squeeze and whatnot. Chalobah, Rudiger, Zuma, all of them are comfortable on the ball. I don't need to talk about their midfielders. You can't be at Chelsea for the money they spend and what they're trying to do if you're not a cultured midfielder. Fantastic movement. You know what Lukaku's on as well. Again, I don't want to insult you lot's intelligence. We don't need to go in depth with that. All I will say is win your individual battles and be switched on. All they need to do is look at the Brentford game, because you do nonsense like that, they will fuck you up today. Pardon my language. Obviously, go back to the game in pre-season. You can say it's only pre-season or whatever. Chelsea have Lukaku now. Werner and Tammy were messing about in front of goal. It would be a lot worse. So fix up quickly. Me personally, I think it's a 3 at the back thing. You know, I said it in the second half against Brentford. I was like, you know what? Second half against Brentford, Chelsea and City, at least while we've got all these inconsistencies, let's just lock it down. You know, let's just double down what we're good at, really and truly. Don't break a winning formula. We can't play them off the park. We need to be brave. We need to have a goal. You know, Chelsea are not perfect. Chelsea make games harder than they need to be. Look at the Villarreal game. You know, they should have won that in 90 minutes. Chelsea, I don't feel, in comparison to league champions like being a City and stuff, Chelsea need to be killers. They don't kill off games. They might do it today. Don't let them. It's as simple as that. There's no need to bore you lot. Like, it's Arsenal, Chelsea. You should be up for it. Like I said, we've been dealt a short hand, people, really and truly. So in relation to formations and things, make sure you're hitting the like button and you're setting your reminders for the next live stream, people. There's 300 odd of you. In relation to what formation I will go with, I know we've kind of been dealt a short hand in that allegedly Ben White's out. Now, until there's been official channels, in fact, I think I can actually go here. As you lot can see here, Gooner Talk understands that Ben White arrived at the Arsenal training centre at the same time as the rest of the squad, but was then spotted leaving the London Coley training complex just 20 minutes later. As you lot know, we've intensified our COVID testing in and around the ground after there's been problems. So again, Ben White is doubtful. It's not over until the fat lady sings. There's a lot of speculation. You know, maybe he might have saved his rep because playing against Lukaku's a long day. But you know, it makes us weaker because we've got scrubs in defense. If I'm completely honest with you, I'll just ignore this. I was just trying another thing, people, really. But I don't. For me personally, in relation to the lineup, I'm looking to go with something like this. I know Ben White's not there. Who the fuck do you play, man? Like, you could move Xhaka there and bring in El Nene, but it's a bit of a madness. I actually would be considering that. We're down to our bare bones. You've probably got to call in Callum Chambers in that regards, really. Me, I'm going free at the back, man. You know, we can't play them off the park, so we might as well be switched on. You know, if Aubameyang's fit, I can't lie, probably, if he's anything close to being able to get 60 minutes, for me, he starts, but it's probably naive. I'm going to go with Pepe on the right, Martinelli through the middle, Smith Rowe, just to get into the team, is going to go off the flanks. Saka, you're going to need to do a job for me. I know Tavares can play left wing back and he's probably better in a back three, but I need, listen, I have faith in Saka. Tierney's not here, as you lot can see, people. So I'd probably be doing something along the lines of this. You know, Chambers could get a look in. And to be fair, you could free up Tierney there and free up Saka. But I just think Saka gives me a lot defensively and he's a bit switched on. And I just feel Tierney can organise that defence. I would love him at left wing back, but again, we're down to our bare bones. I'm not really convinced with Callum Chambers and Maitland-Niles out there. You know, Holding's a bit shaky, but I do think he likes playing these big games. I do think he likes playing the Costas and all of these things. That I've seen him get ripped plenty of times, but he seems like he's on for these big games. So go and show me something. Obviously, this channel scares me because this is where if Lukaku starts, obviously in real time, our centre-halves are not going to be like that. Let's just say our midfielders have gone higher up the field just to paint a picture. These channels, bro, Lukaku is going to work the channels. He's going to, you know, Lukaku is very good at movement. Don't let his figure, which some people say deceive you. He's going to get into these channels. He's going to get balls knocked in behind, you know, into these. And, you know, once, you know, he's like an NFL player. Once he's going, well, unless you want to get damaged, you got to leave him, really. So, again, balls into these channels. Balls in behind, you know, Lukaku running at you. Obviously, he's going to be working that. So that's something we need to be wary of. That's a big reason I'm going for free at the back, just because we look a bit better. I need relentless pressing from Martinelli. Pepe, you've improved defensively. I need you with Maitland-Niles. You lot have a decent partnership. Smith Rowe, in reality, I want you inside. I want you floating inside and becoming like a free. You know, already Saka is cultured on the ball, so he'll naturally do that. Maitland the same. Like I said, just worry about the channels. Tierney, organizer, again, gives us a bit of strength. I do think we're strong on the left-hand side. This right-hand side scares me a lot. I'm not going to sit here and cap, but this is a sort of lineup I'd be going with. Defense is the only question marks. You could, yes, like I said, throw Tierney over to the flanks and whatnot. I don't really feel, I'm not really, Marie's playing by default, you know. I'd probably rather give it Chambers, but I just think Marie, I know he's played a bit woeful and he was quite trash against Chelsea, but I just think he's got that a bit more organization. One thing I like about Marie, he knows what he's paid to do in the team. You don't really see him try things, and I think we need someone like that. And I think in the middle, we could protect him. For me, when you've got Tierney and Saka, they can kind of cope with the wide areas. Holding's a big one in terms of make sure you're hitting the like button. In terms of what's the word I'm looking for? Organization. He's more vocal than people give him credit for. So you got Maitland in there. I don't really want to see Chambers there. It probably will be Chambers. I don't mind Cedric. Probably be Bellerin. You know, even knowing Arteta, Saka might play right back, really and truly. But this is for me, innit? I just feel within three at the back, this is the best I can kind of do. Obviously, there's a little couple things you can change. We ain't got much in midfield. Lokonga and Xhaka are going to have to hold it down. You know, on the left-hand side, this could give us a lot as well. Obviously, Tierney's kind of covering. Xhaka's going to pull over. Saka's going to go up there. You've got Smith Rowe in the pockets. Like I said, I need Smith Rowe to drop. I actually want Pepe to be quite narrow at times and let Maitland do that just so we can suffocate spaces. And I need relentless pressing from Martinelli. Give me what you've got, Balogun. You come on, if anything, Aubameyang off the bench. You know, I would rather start Aubameyang, but we need to remember, you know, COVID's going to take a lot out of you. I don't know how many times he's trained and all of these things. So like I said, the key ones for me would be Smith Rowe inside, you know, and obviously these three need to press. So I'd be going three at the back. I actually don't mind four. I just am not confident with it. I do think if we played four, we'd actually do all right, but it's just the transition we're too open, at least in theory, you know. In theory, Xhaka should be the deepest one, but you know Xhaka's not going to be that. He's going to pull over to the left. Lokonga, I hope you sit in there. Maitland, I hope you're kind of in the half spaces. You know, Holding, I hope you're organising. You know, Tierney, don't want you too wide, but I want you to make an option. You know, hopefully that is something we can do to mitigate against the threats of Chelsea. But again, you look at Chelsea, it's 1-2s and third man runners. You know, Chelsea on the ball is amazing. If you want to lock them down, it's what they do off it. You know, one thing about Werner, if Werner starts, Werner is a decent player. He just shit in the final third. And no, such is life. Werner, you know, all the hypes about Lukaku, it probably end up being Werner who scores and Lukaku who doesn't, which I hope so, because I didn't put Lukaku in my fantasy. I forgot. But as I said, whether it's Lukaku, whether it's Werner, them and they love the channels, you know, and they've got the midfielders who can do it. Chelsea can cut us open in 1 or 2 touches. Arguably, 3 at the back doesn't really solve much because you've got to be able to think. But I would just feel a bit more comfortable. Like I said, second half against Brentford, I was calling for this. Definitely today. City, boy, you never know what could happen. But, boy, I don't think we can afford to do anything less than that. So, again, like I said, it's Arsenal, Chelsea. You don't need much, man. There's nothing else to it, man. What are you lot saying? Ricky has said, easy, bro. You're going to the game today. I got a free ticket with my Arsenal reward points. Big up to you, Ricky. No, I'm not, man. I'm actually not. But yeah, man. 3 at the back is a must. And for me, it's just, I'm going to need holding in the air, bro. It's like, at least for me, we can double up on, man, as well with this as well. It's like, let me move the midfielders. Again, when it's 4 at the back, what I hate is people are like, oh, it's your... Like you actually saw Burnley yesterday. No one's picking up the man. Marie might be like, Holding is your man. Holding's like, fuck that, it's yours. Teeny's just shouting at man. Man don't even understand what he's saying. The Flying Scotsman, big up to him. At least with a back 3, you know, we can kind of pattern. So, you know, the striker might be running. Marie might say, that's your man. You know, Marie, I've got him. I'm going to go and get tight and aggressive to him. And then obviously, in theory, you'd hope Xhaka or Lokonga tuck in those half spaces. And obviously, we get closer. Or Maitland-Niles tuck in. So in theory, we should just have a bit more about us. Like, let me move everybody because it's getting a bit hard. At least on the defensive transitions, man, we should at least, at the very least, Marie, where you gone? Definitely don't want to see you charging up there. That's calamities. Defo just want to see us frustrate Chelsea, man. Just sit, bro. Just sit. Just sit. It's not hard. Just sit. You know, if this is behind, off the ball, just sit. You know, limit the space. Chelsea are a possession-based side. They're not exactly direct. You know, they're very cultured. They're a bit, I won't give as far as to say they're a Wenger side, but there's a lot of similarities with what I see Thomas Tuchel doing. So like I said, everyone behind it. You want Pepe a bit narrow. You definitely want Smith Rowe a bit narrow. Obviously, you've got Saka to provide that width as well. So I want Smith Rowe kind of not with too much freedom within the framework, but kind of like that. And I think this is what gives us stuff. And obviously, we can hit them on the counter. But saying that, you know, Chelsea are going to suffocate us because you're going to see Pepe there. Like I said, for my example, Smith Rowe, Martinelli, who's going to struggle against that back 3. You know, he's not going to win it. They're going to be in our own half. You know, let's slap them a keeper as well. No, you can't have the same kit. Slap them like you, bro. Chelsea need no license like you lot see to get forward, bro. They're centre halves. You know, let me push these guys extremely back. Obviously, you know this pitch isn't to scale, people. So yeah, let me just push everyone back just to highlight this. This is probably what you're gonna see because we're not gonna have the ball. You're gonna have their centre backs high. You know, all 3 of their centre backs, they're very cool on the ball. You know, their wing backs need no introduction. Unfortunately, Pulisic is playing no part. You know, you've got Jorginho in there who wants it. You know, and is very cultured. You know, you've got Kovacic who's going to drive. You know, you've got Mason Mount or Kai Havertz or whatever. You're going to have Lukaku there. You know, you're going to have, I don't need to put all 11 players, but you get the point. We are going to be suffocated. So it's about how we're able to withstand this and elements of that that's going to improve us. You know what to expect with Chelsea, people. I know what to expect with Chelsea. So it's a bit redundant to keep going on and on and on about it. But the boys should, you know, what have you lot been working on all week? Forget Arsenal, Chelsea, because don't let the occasion swallow you. You haven't been good enough. The season hasn't started well. You know, the preseason hasn't started. You want your season to start, you know, even if we win, which I'm not too hopeful on, you know, you can't get excited. But, you know, it's a game of football, really and truly. It doesn't matter how much, like I said, how much who spent or whatever. It's a game of football because on paper, there's no reason to give Arsenal a chance. Thomas Tuchel versus Arteta, no contest. You know, the way their team looks, no contest. The blueprint, no contest. The way the ambitions of their club versus ours, how they're handling their business versus ours, no contest. Even down to the transfer window. them man, and fundamentally they've got better players, which again, no contest. You can sell better players. When you've got a good that actually somebody wants, there's an issue. You know, in a COVID market, they've made 100-odd million and sold Tammy. We can't sell Eddie. We can't make no peas. We're begging Kolasinac to cancel his deal with things. There's not a single reason to really be positive about what we're doing, but football isn't one on paper. Like I said, it's tactics and these things are relevant, clearly. But it's a mentality thing. If you lot turn up today, you have half a chance. If you do things by half measures and you haven't worked hard all week and you know, you haven't woke up today with this game on your mind, you didn't go to sleep on Friday with this game on your mind, when you're, you know, you the birds and the bees, when you're doing whatever with your wife, this game wasn't on your mind, you know. I want it like that, poor, not a funny man thing. But I therefore want, you know, bro, if Ben White was playing today, which he might not when he's doing whatever with his beanie, you know, I want man focused on Lukaku. I want him screaming out Lukaku's name. Pause. You know, I want people obsessed with this game. At the same time, you can't let the occasion eat you, though. It's just a game of football. And those who understand football at its purest level understand what I mean. And as much as I want them to, you know, stand up to be counted, accountability, sometimes I think you've just got to accept it's just a game of football. Sometimes you can overrule yourself. It's a game of football. Like I said, what's the worst that can happen? You lose. The papers say the same things they always say. So give me some fearlessness, man. You know, because we already know you lot are bottlers. I already know you can't defend. I already know you struggle from set pieces. I already know we can't create chances. I already know we self-implode. So have some, you know, don't over-respect them. You know, respect them. They've done stuff. They're all good players, but have a chance. They're not invincible, literally. That's an our club thing or my club thing at Wrongers. Shout out to Wrongers as well. But that's all I've got to say about Arsenal Chelsea, people, in relation to the preview. That's literally all I have to say. Like, it's not a game to be boring people with that sort of stuff. Maybe when we butt them at Stamford Bridge, that is another case. But you look, get the point, man. Boy, 157 likes, people. There's 500 odd of you. Can we at least get to 200? We're slacking. Ben White out. What happened? There you have it. COVID. Big up DG. I think we have a young squad with different ambitions. Performances are more important than results right now. It's sad but true. Results always important, but fact. It will be a massive upset. I'd love it, but this team is scared. We need to be strong in midfield to be able to handle Chelsea and off the ball. Because Chelsea sucker you in. You think it's a midfield battle. Someone's made a run off that left-hand channel and we play at high line already. Like, I don't want to see Marie in a foot race with anyone today. As you lot know, that's suicidal. It doesn't make sense, does it? And that's it. We need to spoil Lukaku's return. I didn't think we tried to be villains away at Brentford. We didn't try and spoil Brentford's time. Big up Brentford, what they've done as a club, the stadium, the fans and whatnot. We didn't try and spoil the party. I know Thomas Tuchel and the Chelsea boys are not going to be complacent, but the whole footballing world just thinks, and they probably could. Chelsea are just going to turn up. They're going to, you know, they're on a beach. They're going to turn up, be at 10% and smack Arsenal. Like I said, you lot should be determined to just really ruin their day. But will we? I don't know. Because you can't really, all the pet is that cliche, what Arsenal turn up and all them sort of things, man. Can't afford to embarrass yourselves, 100%, man. The day Arteta is Mickey and Arsenal are Rocky, boy. No, fuck that. If man are scared to play, brother, I can't lie. Football ain't for you. Nah, to be fair, you can get scared, bro. Fear is it depends, you know. Fear is it's a human nature. You're allowed to have fear. You're allowed to have fear. If you don't have fear, I don't think you're alive. Fear is what keeps us alive. Like, you listen to Pablo Escobar, he's scared all the time, man. You know, he's scared all the time. It's just about recognizing that fear and stand up. You know, I've been scared, you know, little things like a driving test. Who isn't shook at that? But you just got to say, you know what? I'm not going to be here again. Why wouldn't you play White? He's better in a free because I did say I'd play White, but he might be missing due to COVID, man. Tierney might get bullied in the air. Lukaku loves drifting to the right channel. That's why you know the back five need to talk. You know, double up on someone. Someone goes tight, the next one covers. You know, a big part of defending is, how do I make it make sense? and I think my fullbacks will know, sometimes you've just got to respect somebody's strengths in it. Like if you know someone is fast and is a skiller, sometimes you can't always do the I'm gonna drop off and win the ball thing or get tight. Sometimes you have to kind of let them do whatever they want, and you kind of guide them into scenarios where they can't harm the team. Like, you know, if you're playing against a serious road runner of a winger, you double up, you frustrate them, you make them run into blind alleys. As long as we mark up properly, we have half a chance, man. You know what you're gonna get. As you said, Lukaku's gonna drift. Back five, if you switch on, bro, 2 against 1 is better. You know, you missed the first header, someone missed the second. But it's about realizing that my guy's gone in, bang. You know, Saka's playing left wing back. Saka's gone in, bang. Xhaka, I'm going to fill in for him. Tierney, I'm going to do this. Bang, fill in for guys. One guy goes in, next man goes in. It's a tactical one. You need Van Dijk defending Lukaku. Bro, Lukaku's a man mountain. He's a monster, but let's be real, he's not invincible. Like, come on now, man. The man's human. Let's have half a chance, man. I don't know where I said you don't drop. Wait, I don't know where I said I dropped Tierney, but fair play. I don't know what you lot saw, but fair play. Man, I'm saying 3-0 Chelsea. Fair play. I don't have a good feeling about today. I don't think anybody does, but yeah, man. Xhaka doesn't do dirty work. To be fair, he does, you know. I'll give him that. He attempts to do that. Sit and counter is our only chance. I mean, yes and no. You can't just sit back for 90 minutes. We're going to get in trouble. But I hear you, man. Don't concede before half time. Boy, have to see, man. I don't know how it could be. I don't know how it could be a thingy reality check, because I think there's no bubble that needs to be burst. Everybody can see Arsenal for what they are, but fair play. DG, you work more for Arsenal game than Arsenal this week. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully not. He had a soft spot for Brentford, like playing against our young guns. Fuck that, man. Have you seen, bro? We're 8th. Forget everybody, man. Up the likes and subscribes, people. One love for that. What else you lot saying? You can say Arsenal need to show up and be determined, but you need to remember the Chelsea players will show Arsenal respect themselves and be determined as well. So it's not like one club will show up. All right. I'm just worried about Lukaku as it's his debut and will want to make a first impression. This is where, bro, this is where, as a centre half, you've got to say, you know what, Lukaku, not on my watch. That's what defenders have got to do. Not on my watch. You start that crap where whoever Chelsea are playing next week, this ain't the first game. This is where you've got to take it personally. I can't blame Lukaku. Lukaku should be looking at you like lunch meat. You know, same way Ivan Toney was, same way them City. But to be fair, City even got a striker. But whoever's going to be on the pitch for City, it's at some point you've got to take that personally and say, no, you bloody ain't. Lock down on the keys now. What you get is it's a myth for you lot, but it is what it is. Boy, come on, man. More optimism, people, man. Most of us expect to take an L against Chelsea and City. Just want to see the players try their best and rise to the challenge and put in a performance. Short, sweet, to the point, 6 million, 100%. 100%. So much emphasis on Lukaku. Chelsea won Europe without Lukaku. More worried about Tuchel. Facts. We're going to slap you. Boy, hopefully not, but you're allowed to believe such, man. Clearly, defo gets in the Chelsea side. Probably about it. Don't concede in the first 5. It's a mentality thing, man. Martinelli and Balogun up front. I wouldn't put 2 of the young guns, personally. I don't want to play Marie, but who have you got available? If Ben White's out, Marie White, I mean, pardon me, who's really it? I would love Gabriel to be about, White to be about. You've got Chambers, you've got Holding, you've got Marie. They're all kind of similar. I just give it to Holding because at least he's kind of on this. Marie in the centre, I think he can get away with it, although he has fucked up a couple of times against Chelsea. You never know, but them runs got to come to an end, man. You know, and this is what, and this is kind of what Ashley was saying. This is why I think no matter what, you can't just think Chelsea are so, like, they are a good team, they're better than us, but you can't just have that defeative mindset. It's a game of football. You know, how many of you have played Sunday League and you've either beaten a team that's very good or lost to a team that's effing trash because of whatever happens? It's not just an individual thing. I mean, unless someone can confidently say Chelsea are going to not lose a game this season, win everything, including the Tour de France, you can't tell me don't have a chance, man. Hope we can score, boy. Need to, man. One love to the JA Tugs. Come on. Tell that pot smoking athlete to stop sending for us and go work on stuff, man. Harry, our slide just talked about the back three, man. I think you're gonna have to scroll back, man. I've literally just spoke about that. One love to everyone. So yeah, that's Arsenal Chelsea. That's that out of the way. What else have we got to speak about? Apparently in relation to Ramsdale, people, it's come out why Arsenal allegedly actually signed him. So I think I might as well share the Athletics article on that quickly, among other things. We've got a couple little things to get through. Let's get out of this. Don't need that. Sorry, folks. I'll share my screen with you lot. One love to everybody locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button and you're setting your reminders for my next live stream later today, 4 p.m. Arsenal Chelsea watch along. Let me find this article. So yeah, folks. Someone said my nan could probably beat Marie in a 1v1. Loud Nanny, man, she's probably just making her food. Now, in relation to Ramsdale, the Athletic are sending out some information. And in relation to him, I skipped through some of the pointless jargon. But allegedly, in relation to Ramsdale, within the club, however, there is satisfaction at finally landing their man. Arsenal's pursuit of Ramsdale began as soon as last season ended. They have watched him closely since the summer of 2020. There were those at the club who considered him a good candidate to replace Martinez back then. But by the time the Argentinian agreed to join Villa, Ramsdale had already joined Sheffield United from relegated Bournemouth. Ramsdale's move back to Yorkshire, having previously come through the youth ranks at Sheffield United, cost around 18 million and has meant Arsenal have pushed the boat out to enable the Bramall Lane club to turn a profit 12 months on. So maybe Brighton and Bournemouth and obviously Sheffield, they might be laughing at us. The price Arsenal have ultimately paid, 24 million with a potential 6 million more in add-ons, makes one thing clear: the club don't regard him merely as backup. Like Manchester United, Chelsea, and other top clubs, Arsenal like the idea of having two keepers who can compete for one place in the team. Last season, as you know, we had Rennerson, we had Matt Ryan. Leno went through some terrible form. I'm going to scroll past that. Apparently, there is hope the newcomer can eventually become the club's number one. That's reflected in the structure of the deal. The additional 6 million will only be triggered if Ramsdale plays a significant role in a successful Arsenal first team. It is probable Ramsdale's price tag that has attracted most scrutiny, and understandably so. English goalkeepers, only Jordan Pickford has ever fetched a higher amount. In terms of combined fee, Ramsdale's second major transfer in the space of 12 months makes him one of the most expensive goalkeepers of all time. Allegedly, they demanded closer to 40 million. Talks broke down. We all know Arsenal have finally agreed a move. The Arsenal hierarchy are conscious of the optics of spending more on Ramsdale than they received for Martinez. They all know about the English tax. In the end, however, Arsenal's need for another keeper grew greater than any concerns over the price tag. They chose to back the manager and go the extra mile to get Arteta his preferred choice, but he's not backed. Make sure it makes sense. There were several criteria for Arsenal's goalkeeping search. The homegrown factor was at one stage significant. That was cited as one of the reasons for not pursuing a permanent deal for Matt Ryan. As you lot know, Arsenal hope to compete in Europe in UEFA competitions again, which they can carry a maximum of 17 non-homegrown players. In an ideal world, Arsenal don't want several of those to be goalkeepers. Arteta was also insistent. He wanted a goalkeeper who was good with the ball at his feet. Playing out from the back has become a cornerstone of Arsenal's style of play under the Spaniard. Let's give respect to the first Spaniard who's tried to do that, Emre, to be fair with you. The initial target was Brentford's David Raya, who worked with goalkeeping coaches Inaki Kanya. Arsenal pursued him intently last season, but ultimately Brentford held firm. He signed a new deal and it didn't happen, people. Although in his season back at Sheffield United, he tended to play longer passes, staff have studied his previous time with Bournemouth and in the England under-21 side and believe he is capable of a short passing game too. Arsenal admire his bravery on the ball and his ability to throw quickly and accurately over a distance. So his distribution it's clearly not a problem for Arsenal. Then that was one thing us as fans we couldn't exactly see. Allegedly, video scouting has played a key part in this decision. While Arsenal do statistically profile goalkeepers, those models are currently less sophisticated than for outfield players, so that might be an issue. Consequently, coaching staff tend to have a more active role, making qualitative judgments based on style and personality. Arteta has been personally involved. It is clear that Ramsdale is his choice, so make it work. Another aspect of Ramsdale's game that Arsenal like is his willingness to come off his lines to claim crosses, which Leno can't do. This is interestingly an area in which Leno is not particularly strong. You know, Ramsdale ranked 88th, ranked 88th percentile for high claims, whereas Leno was 66, despite being only a haircut shorter than the Englishman. Martinez was the only Premier League keeper to make more high claims. Now, that was a big thing we loved about him, really and truly. You know, Martinez is that he collected accurately from aerial situations and held firm, you know, and his distribution, you know, less expansive than Leno's, more accurate. You know, Leno does strike you as a bit arrogant. Arsenal have also taken note of Ramsdale's courage when sprinting out of goal to dive at the feet of an attacker. Now, I like that about Ramsdale, but that needs to be molded because sometimes he comes out and looks a bit clueless like Leno. He also averages a higher starting position and has made just 3 errors leading to goals in 75 Premier League appearances. For context, Leno has made 8 in 98. Now, sometimes he might have been, you know, Ramsdale could have been involved in a collective team error, but it's not credited to him, which, to be fair, you know, and he does have a mistake in his game. Make sure you check out the video I did with the guys at Sheffield United Way, where they spoke from a Sheffield United fan opinion base about Ramsdale. Obviously, we know Ramsdale's been on a couple of loans. Arsenal don't intend to offer Ramsdale this #1 spot on a plate, but he'll be given the opportunity to contest. It takes a particular type of goalkeeper and a particular type of personality to accept that challenge. By the summer of 2020, Martinez was no longer comfortable in that role. He had tasted life as Arsenal's #1. When Leno missed most of the post-game lockdowns, including the FA Cup win through injury, the 28-year-old was not willing to wait around any longer. I mean, we've got to remember, the Athletic, they're cool with the club. I genuinely think it was made abundantly clear Leno is the #1. Martinez is not a fighting thing. Or why would you, you know, you've been fighting for 10 years. You finally got onto it and there's been light at the end of the tunnel. You won FA Cup. It's madness. But anyways, he was not willing to wait. While the Argentine was a popular player at London Coley, he wasn't one particularly inclined to hide his feelings. Some Arsenal staff believed that if Martinez was consigned to the bench again, then he would have a can't say that, man, but unhappy player on their ends, people, you know, on their hands. Having turned 23 in May, Ramsdale has considerably more time on his side. He has demonstrated his willingness to be patient when required. Man, I'm not going to praise you for being the country's 4th choice keeper, man. You know, Ramsdale seems like he's a team player. Apparently, the club were also impressed by his spirits he showed in responding to a difficult start to last season. Initially, the weight of expectation back at Bramall Lane seemed to phase him and he lost confidence. He done whatever, man. So, yeah, he's got resilience. You're going to need resilience, and you're definitely going to need it because some of the fans are welcoming you with a lot of love. Some of them are onto him, people. Allegedly, he's got a bullish personality. He's very vocal. This is what you want to hear. I need personality from my keeper. I don't think we've seen that with Leno, with respect to him. Leno, you know, Ramsdale's played a lot of football for 23 years of age. You know, he's higher than Donnarumma, Unai Simon, Lafont, and whatnot. And the top 4 names, they've all had a bit of adversity in their career already, people. Scrolling down away from all of that, apparently Arsenal checked on the availability of Sam Johnson at also relegated West Brom. He's 5 years older than Ramsdale, and yeah, man, they tried to get him for some peas, people. Apparently Arsenal did explore a potential move for the 25-year-old Cameroon international Onana, but as you lot know, he's banned from football and there's an issue, people. What's more, apparently Onana's camp are mindful he may have more attractive options when his contract expires next summer, so there's an issue there. Obviously, Leno, I'm not going to carry on reading this, but apparently Leno, you know, I think Leno will be moved on, and I think a lot of you lot do as well. So yeah, man, we've got another English player with potential and all of those sort of things. Let's hope he does well, people. So I just thought I'd read that out purely because I read that this morning, and it's unfair to not enlighten you lot to potential stuff. So yeah, moving away from that, keep going, man. Man said voting yes for positive omens. Pardon me, DG, new to the channel. Love your perspective and your general outlook. I appreciate that, my guy. Oh, trust me, Donny needs to go help Gavin. Man needs to go help mommy with the hoover, man. Poor old mommy busting her back after holding my man for 9 months. It's crazy. 104 likes, people. Come on, let's hit 250 and Smith Rowe will score 3 goals. Either that or Lukaku's getting 10 in this game. Misplaced priorities FC. That's a bit harsh. Tini or Chilwell, Tini for me. I'm scared that after 3 games, we're going to have 0 points. I'm scared too. But the club have to let that fear of embarrassment of not being in that situation lead them more, man. If both teams play at their best, there is only one winner, but it's football, so who knows? We walked into a Sunday game thinking we'd beat the team in last place and lost to them because of not respecting that team. You get it, Ashley. You don't respect people, you get complacent, you get miffed. People overreacting over 1 loss. Arsenal can still recover. I hear you, but I don't think it's been 1 loss. I think it's frustrations from last season, frustrations in pre-season, frustrations with what's happening with Arsenal off the field, frustration that especially in the last 2 pre-season games, can see a madness, and then ultimately what happened against Brentford, and the faith that the not having the confidence that despite all of that, such is life. Arsenal might turn up today, but they might do the exact same thing today. So yeah, man. Is it Madison English would have helped us with the quota? Yeah. Our home form was atrocious last season as well. That's another factor for these boys to consider. But you said we're playing at home. We can't play like we're an away club. Let's take the game to them with heart. Let's don't watch them play football in our yard. No space. Eugene, we've just got to be there, man. What's wrong with Ben White? Allegedly, he must have COVID. It's scary, man. Again, we're wishing him good health. I think Ben White might have had a good game today, personally. And I would have loved for him to have a good game. I don't think Arsenal are going to get relegated, bro. We've shown glimpses last season of where we need to be, but sooner or later we need to kick on and begin the transition. Right now we're in no man's land. The Sweet Corn Kid, one love for becoming a member as well, and one love for the comment. DG, serious inquiry made for Asensio. Where put me in the right direction to see that. Asensio. But again, with that one there's floated back again. Like we've made contact. Yeah, I mean we just signed Odegaard. Where is he gonna play? I know I'm not saying I wouldn't take him, but come on now, I can't really see it. If you're gonna, you might as well get. Is he gonna play next to Partey? If not, then I think we need to move away from that. As much as I like Asensio, I mean, big up Robbie, but Robbie's just gonna do the clickbait thing, man. That cold tea was horrible. But anyways, moving on from all of that, people. Again, let me set my timestamp. One love to the 600 odd of you locked in. Allegedly, Kolasinac is closer to tearing up his deal, man. Close to leaving. Allegedly, and now we've heard this before. Apparently, he's close to joining Mesut Ozil over there at Fenerbahce. So yeah, you'd imagine in this week we see, for me, the futures of Torreira, Maitland-Niles, maybe Bellerin, Kolasinac. Something happens, but as you lot see here, Sead Kolasinac has given up most of the money he'll receive, and Arsenal have agreed to terminate his contract. The meeting will be held for the last time next week, and he'll officially leave. He's got a 1.8 million salary waiting for him, I believe that means in Fenerbahce, and a 2-year deal plus an option of another one, which could be decent. So he's foregoing his loyalty bonus from his initial deal when he signed on a free for Arsenal. And I wouldn't, but fair play. Where's the other whatnots and whatnot, people? That's a Cronke's message, allegedly. I'm not going to bore you with that. Sead Kolasinac closes in on Fenerbahce move. The Bosnian is not part of Mikel Arteta's plans this season. Has been told he could leave the club. So why did he play so much in pre-season? Kolasinac is close to signing for Fenerbahce. Football.London understands. As you don't know, he went back home to Schalke on loan last season. It didn't bang. They got relegated and then things there. Apparently, the left back was close to joining Leverkusen on deadline day last year, but a move fell through. And yeah, apparently he will leave now. He's got a year left. It needs to happen. Allegedly, he will join up with his close friend and former Arsenal teammate Mesut Ozil, who gave his seal of approval to the deal by recommending him to the Fenerbahce sporting director, Emre Bozologu. Forgive me, Turkish fans. I gave it a good attempt. I mean, no disrespect. He made 78 appearances and scored twice for Arsenal. Do you know what? Even though it was terrible, I don't think he was that bad. I don't think he was, but I don't think he was a terrible, terrible footballer. I think he was a dream seller, because when I look at you, it teaches you don't judge a book by its cover. You're mad wham. I thought you would have been like a builder sort of defender. Instead, you're on Rainbow Flicks doing the Ronaldinho sort of stuff. I liked him, you know, I liked him. There was a second where he was looking all right. There was actually a second he was kind of doing what Tierney was doing, just offering an outlet down the flanks, but he hasn't improved. Struggle for consistency. I did have 1-2 injuries, just ultimately not good enough. And, you know, 78 appearances. Didn't even know that. We don't know what we're getting. Unfortunately, it's a myth. You came into the club, you know, Bundesliga team of the year and things. It was looking like quite a coup. It was very expensive. And at least for Ozil, he's getting his boy back. You know, he's getting all the lads together back at, you know, over there at Fenerbahce. So, yeah, it looks close to departing our football club, folks. That's that. We're going to get into, you know, these things in a bit. I mean, I don't know why it says transfer news because we've kind of covered that, but these are more or less the same thing. Sorry, folks. So I care about you lot that don't watch this live. Asensio is injury prone, hasn't done much recently. Madrid will ask for a lot of money for him and will take a lot of wages. You know what? If you could grab him on loan, not pay too much of his wages and give them a loan fee, I'd entertain it. But for me, I'd more want to see a partner for Partey or centre mid addressed. I think we've got too many of them right now, man. He's a quality player, though. Play out wide, play as a, you know, play inside, all these things. Tell Fenerbahce they're buying the best bodyguard in North London. Jeez. DG, why don't you collab with AFTV for more exposure? I mean, I'm not going to do anything just for exposure. I look like a whore, man. And, you know, I'm not going to beg it. You know? Big up yourself, mate. It's not even that. That's what them man they're going to do. Like, come on. Them man don't like the truth as well, man. I think the Asensio link is just waffle. Probably is, man, because it's kind of gone quiet. You know, for me, I don't want to be the guy, and I'm not gonna lie. My first priority would be someone that has a different skill set to primarily what Partey brings or what Lokonga brings. But personally, you know, Asensio, I see a certain midfielder over there at Brighton. You know, he was linked with us. He was formerly at Lille. I think he'd be a decent player there, you know. You saw how aggressive he was in the build-up to one of those Brighton goals. I don't want to be it, but I mean, BISSOUMA would be the guy. I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I do think we need more of an Aouar than a BISSOUMA right now. Or don't get caught up on the names. We need someone with a skill set more aligned to Aouar, I feel, than with what Lokonga, BISSOUMA, and Partey do, because they're all similar. They're all great players, but if we've all got them on the pitch at the same time and we're playing a low block, none of them can help us. But BISSOUMA is there, man. Like, that would be a good option for the team. You know, good competition for spots. You know, Partey is going to be here for a significant period of time, but you've got BISSOUMA blossoming. You've got, obviously, Lokonga blossoming. But again, you're not going to bring in BISSOUMA to go with Lokonga, Partey, and you've got Xhaka. It's not going to happen. It's a fallacy, isn't it, really? But, you know, BISSOUMA's right there, man. You know, I'm at the point where I'm going to gas up anything BISSOUMA does, but it's not even art. Why is it no one else buying him, really? You know, is it wages? Is it demands of what Brighton want? You know, why is it no one else bought him? Told you, bro. AFTV need themselves, man. No one needs me, but fair play. Tierney, not sure what you mean, man. DG, you think LACA will leave this window? Sorry, anything's possible. Anything is possible. You know, his contract's got a year off, but I think, listen, we're not gonna. Personally, I don't think we're gonna bring in a strike. We're gonna bring in a striker, so you might as well keep him and deal with that next year. You know, he probably just let him run it down. He should be moved on. But as you saw, you know, I'm all for giving Martinelli and Balogun, chances like against West Brom and Brentford. But sometimes you just need an experienced individual, someone that some games you just like. Even at United, you know, I want Greenwood, even though I got nothing to do with United, I want Greenwood to play every week. But there's going to be some games physically it's not for him. You know, they need someone that can do the business sort of thing. So I do think you need to keep LACA. I don't like to praise someone for working hard. You know, I always think we praise someone for working hard when we like them or whatever, but they're not quite doing the business. We didn't buy Lacazette to work hard. You know, you should be working hard. Your link-up play should be good. You should be pressing. You're a French international that costs 50 odd million. But I think people, same way, they downplay it. What he might lack in goals, and ultimately as a striker, you need to just score goals. He complements the team, and probably right now, again, we're in a double whammy because there's no real confidence in Lacazette's ability to score goals. Aubameyang is not doing such. Yeah, man, it's a bit of a gazy one, really and truly. I can't lie. Norwich got bopped yesterday, innit? Fuck you. Oh, Norwich got ripped. City, you're doing a mad thing. I can see the highlights up here. City are doing a Mazzolini. But yeah, that's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. I think people really underestimate having just that in the squad. One love to everyone. Some interesting comments, man. DG, we need to be more mobile. The team plays awfully on and off the cool. The team is too static and predictable. What are your thoughts? Bro, my thoughts, you watch me clearly, Matthew. So, bro, I agree with what you're saying. You know, you said static and predictable, brother. Like, it is. You know, it is. And I think there's a lot that Arteta needs to do with the with the coaching. But I think the whole club needs to just have a bit more confidence, man. Like, a lot of it comes down to we're scared, man. Ben White out. That's why we need a competitive squad in all areas. Tris, people only want to hear about that when there's injuries. Everybody gets scared. If Smith Rowe, you know, catches something or gets injured, God forbid, touch wood. Now, man, are looking at Odegaard. Obviously, he can play no part. I mean, it'd be nice if Saliba was there in it. You got bare scraps in the mid defense, but just stand up to be counted, man. Stand up to be counted. Today is all I want, man. How old are you? 49. What's the score today? My heart is telling me 3-4-1 Chelsea. I mean, my brain is saying 3-4-1 Chelsea. My heart is hoping for a little 2-1. You know, a little Lukaku scores first. It looks like it's mad for us. Then it gets Patton, Saka, Smith Rowe do something. You know, I don't know, man. By the way, Deluded, the article you read out about Ramsdale, the person wrote it is a brother of Ramsdale's agent. Bro, Ross Anderson, love for that. But what did I say while I was reading that, bro? I said the club do these little filtering things to the Athletic. You know, we're always, you know, these same guys will, you know, remember when we was linked with Buendia, everyone's like, oh, Arsenal actually interested in Buendia, they're on it, they want to do it, you know, same agent as this guy. Then you start seeing articles, there's internal concerns or certain, we was never as far as people are going on. I genuinely think the club looks to the Athletic and David Ornstein, big up Ornstein for what it's worth, to kind of save face. I don't think Brighton will sell at this point. Darren, I hear you, and I agree with it as well. But it comes down to the P's, bro. And Darren, I can't lie. If you heard Graham Potter yesterday, he wasn't saying I'm selling, but he was on that, you know, what was he saying? Because I was in the car with my guy. He was saying, what did he say? He was like, he's enjoying his football. When he enjoys his football, he's a good player. We're trying to make him the best, trying to keep him happy. And then when asked about transfers, he was like, windows are windows. And I mean, come on, windows are windows, doors are doors. He's not against it. I think he's a realness. I hear you, though. I agree. The longer you leave it, they've got to find a replacement. Clubs that they're trying to find replacements from, there's issues. Brighton are a forward-thinking club. I think they probably have these targets. But then you've got to do what I just said. And as you know, you've got to put more dosh on the table. And do I think we're going to put that money on the table when we've just bought Lokonga? We've got Partey, who are similar players. Xhaka is, it don't really make sense, but Xhaka said he's staying. I think we'll only, bro, if we do the hour thing where it's 25 million, then I think that's it. Other than that, I think we might grab a right back. I hope we grab a midfielder and a right back, but I just think it'll be a right back and done, man. And then what we've got this season is what we've got. Smith Rowe always has a game against Chelsea. Watch goal pending. I mean, I hope so, but he can't always be expected to make things happen. Personally, I don't understand why Liverpool don't slap up Bissouma. I don't know if they've got finances, and I don't think he's quite Ronaldo, but I think they could do a lot worse. And like yesterday, fair enough, when what's his face? Fabinho, sadly, RIP to Fabinho's father. When he's not about, you've got somebody in it. I think Bissouma is made for Liverpool. I would say the only place I don't think he'd be a good fit is Chelsea. And it's not that I don't think you're a good fit at Chelsea. It's just the way Chelsea are playing. I don't know, you know, there's Kante there. You know, you could do the Kante role, but I just don't think you're gonna, yeah, man. I just don't, it's not that it's not a bad fit. It'll be a great fit, and it'll be a good thingy for Kante. I just don't think it's that. Same way with City, you'd give them an option, but I don't think he said that thing. He'd be, like you said, he'd be spot on anywhere. You know, United, for me, you grab that. You know, United, him, Pogba, Fernandez. You got some options there, man. And then, you know, you drop out one of McTominay or Fred if you're going to keep playing Pogba off the left and Bruno in the 10 for balance. You know, I can't understand why he's still there. Even Spurs, Spurs apparently getting Sarr from Mets. I'm going to be vexed about that, man. Absolutely heartbroken about that. Can't cap. Really can't lie to you lot. Sadly, going to have to say, oh, he's overrated. Why isn't no one bought him? Same with like Ndombele. It killed me to start getting onto Ndombele. Like, oh, he's not good. So I know one went for him. You have to be shameless, man. ML2, I hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, he doesn't start. But for the squad, man, you know, for the squad, he doesn't start. He doesn't get ahead of Kante. But for the squad, something happens to Kante. You got someone there. Marie getting exposed today? Hopefully not. DG, do you think Arsenal's a good club to develop at? I feel players like Ben White should have chilled a season or two. Bro, I mean, I can't evidently say it because for every, you know, I see Saka and Smith Rowe shining, but then I see people where I don't. I do think it is a good platform, but it all depends. You know, again, it's about the culture. Half of these other clubs, there's a culture to improve. And I think sometimes, even when, you know, there's only so much self can do. Like, come on, people, if you're in a working environment and you're not necessarily serious about what any part of the role you're in, if you're in a serious company and the way they're handling themselves, you're going to fix up. You're either going to leave or fix up. You're going to fix up because you see it serious. But if everybody's saying they want to do that, but you don't see active steps, you're either going to stagnate or whatever. Come on, City. Fair play. City ain't playing right now, but fair play, my dude. Fair play. Why not, man? Big up you. Where are we at? 296 likes. We're flirting with 300. There's 600 of you locked in. Come on now. I don't mind going behind to see how the team will react with Lukaku. We usually struggle. Fair play. You wanna go behind and lose this game? Will Ben White get bullied for 90 minutes? Paul, I hope not, but apparently he might not miss. He might miss the game. Did you say you was 49? Yeah, I'm 49. You ain't 49. One love to everyone who got it. If you didn't get it, I have to question who's Arsenal fans here, man. Hey, man. Our comes in and it's a different team competition. I agree, it is a different team, but I don't believe it as well. For me, it's mentality more than the players. I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, the mentality changes. We're gonna do a lot, but it's not like we haven't been signing players at this club. Like, it might not be to the standard, it might not be whatever, but you know, as much as I feel when I flip my argument and look at it, it's not like we ain't been spending money and signing players. Like, we have. For one other reason or another, they're not working. But I find myself just going back to the word of mentality. It's like when the mentality is patterned, everything can fall into place. When you want to learn, you will learn. If you don't want to learn, or it's not that you don't want to learn, you're on learning, but when your friends are there, you're getting distracted, which I think happens at Arsenal, you're not going to get there. But I think for me, it's a mentality thing. And it could, you know, even if we do a madness today, I'm not going to get excited because this team will think, you know, we're a team that we might lose and then we win next week. We think, oh, we're back now. And then, you know, we reset to what happened against Brentford, against City. Or, you know, we do this thing where we might beat Chelsea, we might beat City, and, you know, fans start gassing it. And when you start actually watching the games without emotion, we're getting away with a lot, and then no one wants to talk about it. And then when we hit that inevitable road bump, now everybody's got time for it. So mentality, man, mentality. Kind of what my guy Quirty was saying, how we react to a goal down. You know, sometimes we go a goal down, man, are acting like they've never been a goal down before. You've never been a behind. You're not made for this thing. Then, if you want to get top 4, win trophies or whatever, nothing is very rarely in any team. No matter what you work on all week, no matter what your manager tells you, very rarely is everything gonna come to plan. You know, you probably have out of a 38 game, maybe 3-4 times everything you planned all week, everything you planned in the game, spot on. Other than that, you're going to be hit with road bumps and adversity and things like that. That's football. You know, everyone's got a plan. You can have a plan all week. You can see it in the first 30 seconds, it's gone down the shitter. It's how you react, mentality. You know, when you've got that lead in a game that you shouldn't have, can you, and you're away from home and all the fans are onto you, can you get something? When you've been playing appalling, can you claw a draw or a point? You know, very rarely are you going to have these situations where we've been playing amazing, everything is spot on, you know, things happen. So it's an interesting one to have, man. One love to you lot, man. You lot are saying some interesting things. And as I say, it's always a pleasure to be here with you lot. Make sure you lot are supporting the thing on Twitch. Filthy is not even the right word, man. BISSOUMA was absolutely disgusting yesterday, man. All up. And he's preparing, man. See how he's doing the blue hair and all them things. He's ready for the Aubameyang hairstyles, man. He's ready. Absolutely ready. DG, have you watched Xavi's El Assad on the 3-4-3 formation? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I've ever watched the game from Xavi's side. I think I've seen the highlights. Swear Santi was there. I'm not going to sit here and say I watched that, though. So you have to inform me on that. Do you think we will sign anyone? You've always got hope, but I don't know. Mike Tyson, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Paul, that's football. That is football. I'm sure hella times Tuchel's got plans. Every manager's got plans, but things get flipped on its head, man. Things get flipped. The problem is, DG, fans will get gassed if we beat Chelsea. Arteta broke Tuchel. I mean, obviously, we love a little agenda. We run joke and things like that, but that's the issue. You know, I think my most painful time on YouTube was, personally, for me, I'm not going to cut to you lot, when we went on that mad unbeaten run on the Emirates. Not because I wasn't happy about it. Not because any of that. It's because I was sat here and called negative, this, that, and the other. And I really used to sit there and watch games now. I used to question if I understand football because I used to be down like, hold on a minute. We're just about beating Cardiff. And man are telling me that we're doing certified things. I'm not even trying to be negative, but I'm just looking at it. We're not playing that. We're getting the results. We're doing what we need to do, but we're not playing well. You know, we're actually struggling. You know, big up Emre, but we was praising him for turning games around in the second half, and I was, and then a light bulb went off. It's like, hang on. If you always having to pattern it in at halftime and do stuff in the second half, while that's commendable, are we starting well? And how long can that persist? And then people saw what going on. Like, people saw it for what it was. That's the thing. There's no. It's on. How do I make sense, man? It's like we get gas when our houses are built on the sand. Like, that was the best way. People just wanted to shut up. I was vexed from the start of last season. You know, the Fulham game was cool, but we did a little greasy win against West Ham, second game of last season. Then we had the League Cup where I had the same sort of logic with Leicester. And I'm saying, listen, we're playing kind of shaky. These sort of things have gone, man. It's crazy, man. Any update on the protest, DG? Rumors of it losing traction. I don't know, but guy, I'm not the guy for the protests and things. I hope, you know, it goes ahead, because I advocate for fans of all clubs, whether you want owners out, you want owners in, whatever. I think everyone should have their opinions, but yeah, I don't know for none of that, man. I hope it goes ahead. What else are you saying here? Allegedly, he's missing due to COVID, man. I remember them videos, DG. See? DG, I remember those times guys used to get onto you when you said top 4 is questionable. Bro, it weren't even on a negative thing. It's like, bro, like, I'm looking at the club. I'm like, are you lot seeing this? Like, I want to be wrong. I want to be with you lot, but are you lot seeing this? There's no way these foundations are strong enough. Just like people used to get onto me last season when we're turning the games in Europa League around, and fair play, big up us for that. But if you do that once or twice, cool. It is what it is. But literally every game post-knockout, we're turning it around in the second half, bearing in mind what happened against Olympiacos the year before that. And our manager said we learned from that. So we did that against Olympiacos again. We did that against Slavia Prague. We did that against, there's definitely Benfica. I could be wrong. There might even be a next team there. And then obviously that same thing tried to follow us against Unai Emery. That was Unai Emery's competition. He's not a dickhead. You saw what happened. So, boy, what I will say to these players, though, is it's the second game week. Whether you win or lose, you know, if you apply yourself, you genuinely applied yourself, it is a better performance from Brentford, you go again. I always say to you, like, when you're going through tough times, it might rain today, it might rain tomorrow, it might even rain then. But a week from now, there might be sunshine, and you have to keep going. And I just feel like in life with football, bro, no matter how bad things are going, no matter how much you feel sorry for yourselves, you have to keep going. You know, like I said, I've lost my job, I've lost my house, I've lost this, I've lost that. The beautiful thing about life is it keeps going. You can switch that all around positively, or you can let that consume you. And with respect, no one cares. You know, just because that's happened to you, no one's just going to give you bare food and pay all your bills and whatever. You still, you know, it's a sad story, but we've all got one. You need to keep going. These boys can't feel sorry for themselves. At the end of the day, you're professional footballers. What's the worst that can happen? You've lost a game of football. Fans are crying on social media. They'll be crying about someone else tomorrow. You know, it's not like you lot doctors. If you fuck up, you lose a life, you kill someone, and things are happening, or you're on the front line in some of these sort of unsavourable scenes we see on the news. Forgive yourselves for fucking up against Brentford. Slap yourselves for effing up against Brentford, and move forward. This is it. But it's like we live in a fairy tale land. It's like after that game's gone, man are back doing the nonsense. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. But you just until I think that, like I kind of been saying, the mentality. I don't like people feeling sorry for themselves. You can take 5 in life. I always tell you, look, take 5 minutes to feel sorry for yourself, 10 minutes, woe is me, all of this, and then get going again. It's as simple as that. When is the match starting? 4:30. Obviously, as I said, make sure you've all hit your reminders and hit the like button and all of those sort of things, people. On my next thing, I've dropped it in the comments as well. My next watch along. We don't have depth, bro. We don't have depth. But at the end of the day, man, I have to use it. Like, if I'm these players, it's easier said than done, and it's easier for me to talk, bro. Ben White's missing, allegedly. Partey's gone. Gabriel's gone. Aubameyang might not be fit. Lacazette's not playing no part. You know, there's bare injuries. There's people missing. There's question marks over the gaffer. We're not happy with the club. There's pressure. Stand up. Simple as that. Stand up. Next few years will be humbling. LFC went from down into Salah. We'll go from Aubameyang to greatness in 3 to 5 years. Kevin McAllister, I hope so, bro. Hope so, man. But right now, bro, man need to deal with what's today, man. That's all 2024, if my maths is correct, bro. 2021, right now, I have to see what we're going, man. A plan is as good as the people implementing it. When adversity arises, how vested are you to the plan? That's it. That's it. Everyone can be at it when they want to be. You know, it's like discipline. Everyone can do things when they want to do things. Everyone can go to the gym when you want to go gym. Everyone can eat the right foods when you want to eat the right foods. But when you're feeling peckish, are you going to pick that salad or are you going to pick that burger? You know, are you going to go to the gym? Are you going to do, you know, you might be learning a language. You're bare motivated. You know, you're saying, I'm going to do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 2 weeks, you're on it. The next week, Monday, there's football, man. Wednesday, there's a rave. There's this and that. There's other things going on. Friday, I'm tired. I can't be bothered. It's been a long way. Are you still going to do it? Simple as that. If we could only do things when we wanted to do things, then life would be very different, wouldn't it? You know, discipline is what separates us in life, man. I don't see enough people hitting the like button. One love. Big up, man. Hope this pep talk slap the F up and pull them socks up and give 100% to the badge. Well, just give it. All you can do is give 100% in everything. Like I say in life, I don't ask nothing of this football club that I don't ask myself. As long as I can leave anything I've attempted, whether I've achieved it or not, I can answer myself in my heart. I've applied myself. I've tried everything I could. I really have given it everything I have. And then from there, we can learn what went wrong, what we could do. But if I know I've applied myself, then my conscience is clear. But I don't know about these boys, but I know I can't run away from my conscience. If I know in my heart I haven't done something to the best of my abilities or I've done something along them lines, I have to be honest with myself. And I think many people in life, they don't like to be honest with themselves. You know, people like to run away from problems physically, mentally, and literally. People like to run away from problems. People don't like to face up to things. People don't like to face the music. You know, people are escaping it. Something fundamentally. You look at drug addicts, you know, mad drug addicts, you know, crackheads. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I sympathize with them. There could have been something that kicked them off. Someone died or this happened and that happened, but you're trying to escape. It's like alcoholism. You're trying to escape something. You know, why are you getting there? Because you're not happy in your current mental state or for whatever. You're trying to escape, you know. So it's a mad one, but we're going left and right and all over the place with that one there, man. But yeah, it is what it is in that regards, man. Allegedly, Ben White's got COVID. Please stop spamming, though, man. Please allow the spamming, my guy. Big up the Indians, man. One love to you, Indians, man. A man said, "You sure you're not my son, brother? Hey, you're cool, man. I always see you. I was about to do a little mother thing. You don't play that. Therefore, not your son, my guy. You're probably older than me. You're my son, bro. I'm your uncle, but I'm the uncle that's not allowed to come to the gatherings because I smell like marijuana and that. Allow me. So love though. Man said son, you know, man's got one dad still. But love for that, man. I don't know if it's deep. We're getting too, yeah, man. We're getting too I think I'm leading a managerial talk or something, man. Like, gotta love the tangents. Apologies, people. Apologies. I'm all thinking this. Hey, Wrongans, you're playing at 2 p.m. I know someone from Wrongans is listening to my live stream. Unfortunately, I'm not playing, so take that in, man. Let's go and win that, man. Why am I getting blocked? I didn't block you, bro. But if you're spamming, then the moderators are gonna deal with you because you can say Chelsea are gonna win. You can say Arsenal this and Arsenal that. Don't spam and mash up the thing for people. We pride ourselves on having a good community here, filled with good engagement, all those sort of things. Different opinions. We don't do the spamming and the nonsense. So, me, I'm very big on whipping that out of there, man. Bro, I hope Arteta does a madness, but it's a madness. It's an absolute madness. Escaping reality and then getting hooked and can't kick the habit. That's life, bro. This is like Arsenal. Arsenal, we might beat Chelsea today and think everything's done. Everything's good. We're wavy now. We're back. Top 4. But reality is we should savor that moment. Whatever you lot worked, if it provided this did happen, you worked all hard all week. Fair play. You did your thing. It worked, Come tomorrow, we didn't do nothing. You know what? It's Sunday, so realistically, recovery session tomorrow. If those that don't know, you see the players swimming and massages and whatnot. Maybe a light training session, and then we gear towards. I believe we're playing Tuesday, Wednesday. Probably Ramsdale makes his debut. In my opinion, we're playing West Brom away. I could be wrong. And then Focus behaves to City. We behave like we haven't done nothing in the game. That's how it is. The problem is when we lose, we feel sorry for ourselves and think about it all the time. When we win, we don't get out of our system. It should be a 24 hours thing, or we enjoy it this evening. Tomorrow, we didn't even play Chelsea. What is Chelsea? We just got City, league winners. You saw what they did with Norwich. I'm sure they don't want to lose to 2 North London clubs, even though we're traveling to their place. So it's a bit of a gazy one, people. But apparently, Mikel Arteta gave an interview. We might as well look at it. Apparently, exclusive interview, Arsenal manager on building for the future and helping Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Let me scroll all the way down. I hate these these articles because sometimes it's just bare tosh. He raved about Ramsdale's huge potential. As he said, we have to be sustainable. We have to perform now, and we also need a plan for the medium and long term. He also said a lot of decisions we have made over the last 18 months are because we had a big imbalance in certain areas that was putting the club in a difficult position. Then we wanted to recruit players specifically and players with a big personality, capacity to interact with the players who already exist here and who could develop into potential stars and increase the level of our squad. He said, in relation to the squad, he said, it is starting to look much more like what we want. But, and he's also gone on to say, I've been in constant contact with, sorry, people, I butchered that. I've been in constant contact with the hierarchy of the club, with Edu, Richard, and with our coaching team, trying to find players we want. Ooh, are we frozen? I think we're frozen. What happened there? Are we back? We should be back. This is acting, but so it's like Richard, Arsenal trying to close up my thing now already, bro. Just when we're getting towards the end of this bloody thing. Fuck, 1 sec, people. Let me log out and log back in. And we're back. But as I was saying, people, we was talking about whatever Mikel Arteta was saying. Let me share my screen once again. Apologies for that. Again, seems like Google Chrome crashed and them things there. So hopefully there's no more problems. Well, there probably is now. But let me just read this out. If it messes up, it messes up. I think we have created a really strong team who really enjoy working together. Hopefully you will see the fruits of this. We have had 7 departures from the side that we had last year, maybe 8. With 5 coming in, we are talking already about a turnover of 13 players. That is huge. We are trying to have the best quality and balance that we possibly can. It's about increasing the quality and having a healthy squad, which is really important as well. When speaking about experienced players, he said we want to be really competitive from the beginning, but in some cases it will take a little bit more time than with others. So we need to get more from the senior players, what they can give. Last season, in certain moments, the team didn't perform to the right level. We had other issues that I'm not going to discuss right now, but we need to get the best out of everyone. That is our job and my job in particular, which is true. And you need to. In relation to Aubameyang and how he can get the best out of him, I said, absolutely, I do, because he's done it his whole career. So he thinks he can get back. Last year was a really special context for a player to go through. There were a lot of things he had to go through, both professionally and in his private life. And I do think there's a lot of things when it comes out, certain fans will look at him very differently and might admire him. You know, you feel absolutely disgraced when a lot of it comes out. But if you know, you know. We're trying to give him all the help and support we can to make him happy, which is, I think, is really important word for him in order to perform, to flow, and to play with confidence and to do what he has always done. He's also said, when we look at our lack of creativity, I think it's a collective thing. I think every ingredient, every detail we can add is going to help us between all of us, every department here at the club and him individually. It depends on his personal life. How is it going to be professionally, how he takes himself and his level of motivation. I think he's a player who needs the fans. He's very engaged and linked emotionally to them. So I think that's something that's going to help him. I'm getting the sense from him that he is ready to kick on, but he got COVID and has been away for a while. So we have to work with him to get him back physically to his best condition, because that's also something which is really important in his game. Obviously, you know, I think I agree with Mikel Arteta. I think Ben White was done a bit dirty against Brentford. I do think he was quite good in the air. Obviously, he lost some, but it is what it is. He said, yes, he can improve in the air, but he won many aerial duels against him. He's talking about Ivan Toney. You are highlighting the ones he didn't win, but Toney will win headers against any defender in this league because that's a big quality of his. You have to accept it's an area of a pitch where if you concede those headers, it's obvious. It obviously becomes more dangerous for the team, but he had a good debut. Ben White is an exceptional defender. He can play in the back 4. He's very comfortable playing in the back 3. He's got league experience. He's quick. He's agile. He's really aggressive in duels. When looking at it, he went on to say he hasn't trained a lot, but Kyle Saka couldn't feature from the start, and he was in the same training plan as Ben, but Ben made a big effort physically. He's still not where he needs to be, but I think he's had a positive start. Hopefully, with a week to go, now we can see Saka start. Like he said, I already read the first bit about Ben White. He also said, then with the ball, he's got special qualities that are needed for the way we play to make all processes better and for us to be composed and dominant in the air in games like we want to be. When asked as well, he also said, when asked on Lukaku, he said it's a beautiful challenge and we have to face it. We know the competition that we have in this league and we know that what the expectations are. Let's go for it. So sorry, that's not about Lukaku. That's directly about Arsenal. Apparently, Mikel Arteta insists real Arsenal fans understand what he's trying to do at the club. Arteta believes his side will get the full support of true Arsenal fans as they face Chelsea on Sunday. I think, listen, I believe that any Arsenal fan will put how they feel about players individually and how they feel about you to support the team. I think fans do that every week. What we can't confuse, I think, is what is very dangerous. It's kind of saying you're not a real fan if you have an opposing opinion or you're not happy necessarily with what's going on. But let's see what has actually been said, or condoning nonsense. He said his team need to be perfect to beat Chelsea, which is true, and fans can play a part. He said, we know in order to beat Chelsea, we need to be perfect, both individually and collectively. We have to have an extraordinary game. The focus is on that. We are going to need the help of our fans. Well, if you lot are really focused, and like I said, collectively as a team, you lot fix up, individually you're accounted for, the clubs will smell that off you lot. They will smell you lot are serious in that game very early, and likewise, they will reciprocate that energy. Likewise, if you go out there on nonsense and Chelsea are, early on hitting crossbars and inches and whatnot, the nervousness is going to spread. It's a two-way street. The fans will always support, but the fans can only support if you support them. We need you lot to set it as well for the fans to get behind it as well. It's as simple as that. Moving away from that, he said, I don't think they'll be in an apprehensive mood. I think they'll be right behind the team. We will be. But, you know, the context, he said, they know what we are trying to do. They can see it. And if you don't see it and don't see it, it's because you don't want to and you want to see something different. I think that's a bit harsh, Arteta, because I don't think that's the case. I think you can see enough things to say what you're trying to do and you can have question marks. I think that's trying to guilt trick people and somewhat have a my way or the highway. And I'm sorry, but someone who's been here for 2 years can never tell me or people older than me that have been supporting this club for their whole lives anything different. You know, I don't know about anyone, but I support Arsenal. By a byproduct of that means as long as you're manager and as long as these players are players, they'll always have my support. But it doesn't mean saying I can see something where I can't. As I always say, if it's raining outside, what am I telling people I see sunshine for? And you go look like a madman when I'm out there, it's raining, I'm in shorts. So I think that's the terminology has to improve. Don't think that's good enough from Arteta personally. You know, it's not that we want to see something different. I want to see this process. I want to believe what you're saying. I somewhat do. But then I look at it on the other hand, I can't just scream stuff just because in the future it might look like, yeah, I was right all along. He said, but they really know what is coming, what we are trying to do. They'll be there for us because they know as well that our young players need them. Yeah, but we support the young players. Arsenal fans, when things are a little bit difficult, they're always behind the team. I can say that for sure, as I felt it from when I was a player here. I mean, that is true. So again, things are difficult. It doesn't mean condoning everything. So the only thing I'm not quite happy with is that paragraph, people. He also said, we can just see what they have done in the last 10 years, the amount of titles they've won. We are in a different phase and at a different stage to them. In relation to Arsenal's criticism for lack of spending, which Arteta has spent the highest in the league now, 100 million or not, what we want to do, the club, is to bring it back to where it was. The timing is a little bit more complicated than people think, but our only aim is to do that. The only aim tomorrow and this season and the following matches is to win every single time and nothing else. We're happy with what we have done. I'm really happy with the club, the unity we have to make the decisions and how focused we are on what we believe is the right thing to do. Fair play. You know, I can't take anything away from that, people. One love to everybody. You know, that's that. Again, why is it scrolled to the top of my notes? Sorry, folks. Here we go. There's the timestamps. Let's slap that in. 1, 2, 5, 15. So yeah, it is where it is, man. Didn't agree with those comments though. I can't sit here and cap. DG, my guy, big up, bro. If the team can go out there with a ruthless mentality and wanting to prove everyone wrong, I believe in my heart we can get a result that can surprise the world. Same, but what did you say at the start of that? If. Big if, man. And they're going to need to show us something. Drop a like if you haven't already. You know, they're going to have to. It's down to them. Seeing is believing, broski. Seeing is believing. But on that note, though, people, I'm going to be back later for the watch along. Right now, I'm going to kick out, get something to eat and things like that and prepare myself for Armageddon. Please make sure you're here at this watch along, people. Again, I've dropped the link in the description. It's pinned to the live message. Arsenal versus Chelsea live from 4 p.m. I hope to see you all there. If not, that is a shame, man. But yeah, man, you know, I appreciate everyone who's been locked in this early Sunday. Come on, man. Appreciate you lot, man. Ben White's out because of COVID for the last time. So yeah, man, it is what it is. But I'm gonna have to love and leave you lot, man. It's been fantastic.
So it's always just that active red line, defending. I think it's like.
Against this right back, Charlie.